Hey, what's up, everybody? It's a crappy Sunday. No, not really. But we didn't do MNC this morning, so I figured, hey, why not come on out and do a quick show or a show and talk about some cool Xbox stuff or PlayStation stuff or just whatever. Have a good time. If you guys are just joining me, like, share, subscribe. If you haven't already done so, I would appreciate it. You guys have been really amazing and supportive so far of everything. So how you guys doing? Good. Okay. I see. Man, there's a lot of people already waiting in here. Huh. Nice stuff. Sorry it took me so long, guys. I had to hook back up some stuff and reset my computer. So thank you guys very much. No, I wasn't power napping. I wasn't power napping. Sorry. Hey, what's up? Oh, I see. Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, share out the stream if you guys would. I would appreciate that. I think you guys are freaking awesome, amazing, all that kind of good stuff. Thank you guys so much for continuing to rock out with me. You guys have been nothing short of fantastic. But, there was a few nice things that I kind of wanted to talk about. And obviously one of them being Gears. I'm a big Gears fan. I don't think anybody can deny that. Most of you have seen the Gears tattoo. If not, I was thinking about doing a big face reveal this week. I've got a camera. Why the hell not? Most of you guys probably have already seen my face in various pictures and stuff, but I was thinking about, kind of changing up some things, doing videos where I splice in some of myself with gameplay, change it up, keep things fresh, all that kind of good stuff. But anyway, I came across this thing on Twitter today, and I think some of it may be from VG Charts, so you'd have to kind of take that with a grain of salt. Not exactly sure I take VG Charts as a but yeah, I have a big old Gears tattoo on my arm, man. Birthmark. No. What's up? Hot Man 96. Yeah, I did just get started. So thank you guys very much. Viking Norm. What's up, man? What's up? Appreciate it. I see Affy in there. Okay. Yeah. Hell yeah. So anyway, what I saw in terms of, it looks like the Xbox One, the sales have kind of really, really tanked on that. And that's a bit unfortunate, right? Because I think the Xbox One X is a fantastic, fantastic piece of device, the most powerful console in the world. Really, it is. It is a really great console. And, I think that a lot of people probably would have liked that console a little bit better if it had come out maybe a year earlier, like in the generation. I feel like we probably would have seen some better sales and stuff like that. But I still think that it is a really great console, and I think that it's a little bit unfortunate that it hasn't taken off in sales. You would think that with the fact that the sales and that we're, kind of how we are in this generation, that we would have seen maybe some bigger sales for this thing, but it doesn't look to be the case. Sales have completely kind of died out. Supposedly, according to this one site, it looks like the Xbox One, which they count the Xbox One X in there as well, it looks like we have 1.5 million Xbox One sales worldwide for the entire year. That's 1.5 million. And then according to that, the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch are at nearly 6 million. So that just goes to show you sort of the uphill battle that Microsoft has had. Now, before anybody that's a huge Xbox fans come hating and start talking about how Microsoft makes money, I realize this. I will also say, though, that sales do matter in a fact that you have to have enough sales to keep the console relevant, to keep Microsoft interested in actually making more consoles. Now, we've heard them say, hey, we're planning on making another console after Scarlett. But I mean, lots of things happen. I'm sure Sega had plans to make a console after the Dreamcast, right? The problem is you have to get to that point. And I feel like if they aren't careful, and if they don't have a good enough lineup to really impress people, I think that we could see a situation where we have a Xbox Scarlett that sells less than the original Xbox, and that might be a problem. You might see sort of some abandonment happen at that point. Hold on. Let's see. Swift Arsonist says the Xbox division needs to hire new PR, I believe, in order to come back to relevancy. It could be. Sega slipped so hard after the Genesis, Buck Rogers. Well, you know what happened to Sega, right? And I know it's a different era, different time, but Sega was really kind of my time to shine as a kid, teenager, or whatever, like that was really my time. So basically what happened for me was that was a time, like I was a big Genesis person and loved that, but they kept on coming out with more and more stuff. Like, okay, here's the Genesis, here's the Sega CD, here's the 32X, here's the Game Gear, here's the Nomad. They just had, here's the, they had too much stuff out. And I feel like if you look at what Microsoft does, sort of the same situation, maybe not as bad, but we could see sort of that same situation where Microsoft has a little bit too much in terms of the hardware side. Now, I think they're going to be fine monetarily, but I think that they might see that software is their only option, right? So everybody that's on my back, that's like, no, Microsoft is good. They're good. As long as I get to play my console of choice, blah, blah, blah. I get that argument. I do. But at the same time, if the console sales continue to lag and into next generation as well, then what's going to happen after this generation, right? I think you're going to see Xbox start to extremely sell poorly. Now, here's the thing. There's no more Lockhart, so there's no more entry point. So what they might be thinking as an entry point is the Xbox One X. But that's already selling like crap. So what's really going to push next gen? I mean, they're going to come out with another $499 box. That's going to be a problem. I just don't see as much excitement around these next generations or whatever as what we've seen previously. And I think that could be a big problem for Microsoft as well, because you actually need to get people excited. And I feel like they haven't really done enough to get people excited about what's coming next generation in terms of the software. Because it's one thing to get excited about the hardware. I think we all can get kind of excited about the hardware and things like that. I think the problem comes from just more of the same with the software side. Like, we haven't seen that amazing piece of software that really kind of makes us want to get that piece of hardware. So I know it might be different for everyone, and as you guys join in, please hit that like button and share it out. I would appreciate it. Let me see. Dark Saint says Xbox is an option, not a primary reason to own a console. That's why they'll never beat PlayStation. You could be right. You could be right. On your kill list says, do you think Xbox will ever recover from the damage they inflicted on themselves in 2013? No, I think that they've recovered, but they recovered by pivoting their strategy. So a lot of people don't realize it, and I'm not hating on their strategy. I think they will continue to make money. I just think that what we're seeing from Microsoft is a strategy for just them making money or almost third party. And they kind of beat around the bush a little bit when that comes up, right? Phil Spencer will go, well, what's that mean? Third party? Well, third party means you publish your games natively on other platforms, which Microsoft already does that on like the Switch and stuff like that. So I do think that they have a lot of interest in doing like that third party kind of publishing. And so I think that we might see that. They could just like up and quit at a particular point next generation. Now, I don't want that to happen. I'm hopefully everything willing to get all the consoles at launch next gen. Now, these that could be, $1,000 for both, $1,200 for both combined, right? Like that's a lot of money. So I do think that Microsoft has a bit of an edge, given the fact that they have Game Pass. So if they do launch with some really good games, I'm covered with Game Pass till 2022. So that is good, like the Ultimate Game Pass or whatever. So like Halo, all that stuff, I don't have to put $60 out. Fable, I don't have to put $60 out. That's a great thing, right? And then if I do decide that I want it later on, I can buy it at a discounted price or buy it when it's on sale. Most of these games drop in price significantly after, like, a year after launch. So once Gears launches this year, this is the first Gears I'm not buying. Since I have Game Pass Ultimate, I get the Ultimate Edition, and I get to play it like 4 days early still as well. So, but when I do see the Collector's Edition on sale for $50 or something, I'll probably pick it up. That's what I did with Gears 5, although I did buy Gears 5. So, yeah, kind of looking forward to that. Free Jack says, Crappy, I'm concerned that the X is going to get lost in the shuffle cross-gen. It'll be the X1S, XCloud targeted, and Scarlett targeted. Yeah, the X is a very powerful machine, a very good machine. I don't understand what the deal is with the lack of sales. Like, well, you never see any commercials anymore. You don't see commercials for anything. And this is something that I've particularly had some interest in, and I actually complained about it, but people get tired of hearing me complain, and I get that. So from going forward, I'm making some changes and stuff like that, trying to be more middle of the road, but I'm hoping not to be as complaint oriented, because to be honest with you, Microsoft knows about the complaints, and me just driving it into the ground isn't really going to help. So, I will always voice my concerns, the new concerns that come up, whether it be Sony or Microsoft. But for Microsoft, I just hope that they continue to make enough in terms of console sales and stuff to continue to make consoles and stuff like that for a long time to come, because we all want that competition. I feel like competition is key. And so I feel like that's very important. Hit the like button, guys. Let's maybe get to 100 likes. I would very much appreciate that. We didn't do an M&C this morning. Emperor Empoleon says, why are you a flip-flopped and clickbaiter? What's a flip-flopped? I don't know what that is. Clickbaiter, I don't know. I mean, I just do what everybody else does, right? I don't, like, if you look at this title, Xbox One sales fall to an all-time low, that's not clickbait. Microsoft is hiding Gears 5. Is it time to panic? That's not clickbait either, because we are less than 2 months away from the launch of Gears 5. There hasn't been a single commercial. The YouTube trailer views are incredibly off by millions compared to the previous Gears entries, and we haven't seen any of the campaign. There's rumors that there was only 4 or 5 mocap cutscenes on that, so it's very much a situation where it could be it could be bad. So, what's up, TLR9? I appreciate you coming out. I do. Will Bradley says, but that's all you do is complain, is it? Because I just thanked Microsoft for doing some Xbox exclusive news the other day, and was talking about PS5 exclusives and stuff. Like, I don't inherently try to be negative, but when it comes to Xbox, sometimes it's hard to be positive, because they do have a lot of negativity surrounding them right now, right? Because let's face it, the lack of exclusives has definitely hurt the perception of the brand, and the fact that they put their games on everything, that's also hurt the perception of the brand. So, we have those two things to sort of look at in terms of how we look at these consoles and stuff. So, for me personally, I'm trying not to be as negative. I'm just trying to be more middle of the road. I've got, like I said, I've had some ideas and some changes and things like that coming. So it really just comes down to personal preference. I think, like I said, it's going to be content wars going forward, not console wars. So I kind of stave away from some of the console war stuff, because I don't think that's as relevant anymore. So, just to let you guys know, that's pretty much how I am. And I'm enjoying my Xbox One X still. It's I'm having a lot of fun with it. I've been playing some games on it, and I've been playing my PS4 Pro, and I'm having a lot of fun with that as well too. But I did think that it was, I was having a little bit of a problem with the sales of the Xbox One. Those seem incredibly low to me. And if you look at the MPDs that have leaked this entire year, so we're 6 months in, so half the year is done, or actually we're 7 months in, and the Xbox One supposedly at 1.5 million. Now look at the leaked NPDs. You're talking at certain points like less than 100,000 for some of these months, right? And that's US only, but I'm talking worldwide 1.5 million. That is not a very big number, right? So you're looking at 3 million total for the year if you kind of double that up. And that's that's not good at all, especially when you look at the Switch and the PS4 at almost 6 million each. While PS4 has come down a little bit, considering 100 million people own that thing, that's still incredibly good. And I think that really just goes to show you that, exclusives still sell, and people still like the exclusives. And that's very important going forward. We have to keep that in mind as fans of gaming. The competition between Microsoft and Sony has always kind of left one or the other kind of, trying to outdo the other one. So what I mean by that is, when Microsoft was charging $60 a year or $50 a year just to play online, Sony's like, hey, let's charge that, but let's give people free games. And then what did Microsoft do? They went back and said, okay, well, now we have to give people free games as well. So they're giving free games, right? And then when Microsoft has crappy free games, Sony has good free games, and so people complain. So Microsoft has to make their games better. This is just how it goes, you know. Sony did Horizon Zero Dawn. Microsoft, they went and reinvested in Fable. So, you know, that competition is good. Where you look at places where there is no competition, right, which would be something like Madden, you can see things start to get stagnated a bit, and that's not good for the industry. That's not good for anybody. I think as fans, we have to realize that we need this, right? So somebody, if you're a hardcore Xbox fan, you might be one of the camp that says, and this isn't a knock on anybody, hey, is it over 300? Please like, let's get over 100 likes. So this isn't a knock on anybody. I'm through taking shots at other YouTubers. I've gotten over all the beefs. Everybody's apologized, clean slate. So this isn't a knock on anybody in particular, just a generalization of how some Xbox fans are. This is what they say to me. If I bring up Microsoft wants to put their games on every platform, they go, well, who cares? As long as I can play Xbox games on an Xbox. And you know what? To be fair, I get that, right? I understand why people say that. I get why people think that. The problem for me is the lack of competition, right? That competition is everything. If Microsoft is losing so bad, right, then what is the point of them going forward with more consoles after this next one? They've already canceled Lockhart for whatever reason. Now, for me personally, I think canceling Lockhart was a smart thing. You don't need 6 different Xbox options at one time. You just don't need it. It doesn't make a lot of sense, right? Which, you know, I think Sony gets that. I believe we're going to have one PlayStation 5 SKU. Very smart. You might get a mid-gen refresh a few years later. Still, very smart. You know, keep it simple for everybody. Even though it is a different day and age. Think about this. We're connected. The people that watch, the people that are on Twitter and go to gaming sites, we're in the know. Okay, we're very much connected to everything that's going on in the industry. Now, the average person, not so much. Most people don't care as much as we do. They don't even know what's going on. And I heard a comparison to this in a podcast once, and I thought about it, and I was like, hey, this is a very smart point of view. So basically, if you like movies or TV, some of us are just disconnected. We enjoy movies or TV. Our favorite show might be Game of Thrones, but you're not so involved with Game of Thrones that you know like the drama that goes on behind the scenes, or if actors or actresses are unhappy, or, you know, strife among the directors or whatever. Like, we don't know that much because we're not into it that much. Now, as for when it comes to video games, people like us are very much into everything that's going on behind the scenes. You know, Terry Myerson, most people hear that name and think, who's that? Us people that watch the, you know, podcasts and this kind of stuff. That was the guy that was in charge of Windows and apparently stunted the Xbox growth in terms of money. He wouldn't allow them to have a big enough budget to do games and stuff like that, and was behind cancellations. And, you know, so we know about this. The average person, the average gamer, has no freaking clue. You know, so we have to keep that in mind, that not everybody's in the know or super smart. So if you have 6 different boxes, it might not be the best thing to do. It might not be the best thing to do. Free Jack, hey, what's up, man? He says, thanks. Always knew you were a good guy. Hold on. Hollow Moko says, I read that Gears 5 had problems because they decided to do mocap for the campaign just recently before they only had animated CGI. Maybe that's why they haven't showed more trailers. So, Hollow Moko 17. I heard the same thing. I heard there's only 4 or 5 mocap scenes for Gears 5, which is weird. So, you might be in the know a little bit more than I actually know about this, right? So the rumor is they did 4 or 5 mocap scenes for the campaign, and that's it. And so what I don't understand is, if you only did 4 or 5, then what'd you do with the rest? Like, is that by computer, CGI? Like, why did you change it? And is it such a departure from what we're used to? Because if it's a big departure, that might not go over well with people, with fans and things like that. So I would think that that's a bit of a mistake if that's true. So I've heard different things. I've heard people say that worst case scenario, it might be, and I know Rand was kind of saying this in jest, that it might be episodic. I don't think it's going to be episodic, but I hope that they actually did something really good with it. I hope so. On Your Kill List says, Xbox is out of touch with the gamers who made them what they are. They need to go back to pleasing its core. You could be right. Oh, Future Generation says that stuff with Terry Myerson really did happen. Do your research. Dude, didn't I just say it? Supposedly the guy cut down on the budget. Like, I know who Terry Myerson is. Emperor Empoleon says, crap, why do people dislike you? I don't know. Do people dislike me? As far as I know, I don't know. Okay, so Wound Up Penguin says it's not a rumor. Rod Ferguson says it on camera. So, I don't know if that's what the deal is with that. I hope that it's a really, really good game. I hope that they did a good job with it because it's my favorite Xbox series. But I do, Steve, he says Gears of War with a female protagonist smelling feminist propaganda. Well, we don't really know how that is because if you played the end of Gears 4, it sort of makes sense. But switching protagonists in the middle of a new trilogy could mean anything. So, Future Generation says, crap, I was responding to someone that said Myerson was a scapegoat. That was not for you. Oh, okay. Yeah, Myerson really was a, he really did put a budget on Xbox, which was unfortunate. So, Van City 92 says, is anyone really asking for a Kate storyline? And what if it's a Halo 5 situation where we don't get to play as Phoenix? Well, you know what's okay, so Van, and how can I say this and be nice about this and not have people run with it as being something that is not? Microsoft is all about political correct culture, right? And I think that has its place. But I think that you can do strong female characters or other characters, original characters, more so than trying to shoehorn characters into a place where they weren't, right? So Gears has always kind of been like a dude bro shooter or whatever. So if you change that too much, I think that you can potentially shake things up in a bad way. So I hope that it's natural and organic and not forced, because everybody's going to know if it's forced right away. The social justice aspects of video games, whether you believe in them or not, can hurt sales. And the fact that we're 2 months away from Gears 5 and we've seen no commercials and people aren't really excited, that I can tell, or talking about this the way they do other Gears, it could be a problem. So next doc says, crap, the problem is Xbox is making good money with nothing to offer. So what is Xbox incentive to offer is good quality games? This is a problem, next doc. The big problem is they think they're doing everything great. Like, I have it on good authority that Phil Spencer loved their E3. He thought it was like the best E3 ever. So, it's one of those things where I actually think it could end up hurting them. So, Jersey's Finest says Gears 5 is going to be fine. Could be, man. Could be. I hope so. Will Bradley says Crapgamer equals dumpster fire. Probably. Go to Beast Go says, crap, I think Microsoft making free online and Game Pass for the console while making PC players pay for live and Game Pass would help Microsoft in the console versus console. Nobody on the PC would pay for playing online. No, they tried that before with games with Windows, and it's didn't work. Fubar says, crap, I've been following you on YouTube since 2013. Holy crap. I'm primarily a PlayStation gamer, but I've always enjoyed the entertainment you bring. Just wanted to say what's up. Hey, I appreciate it, man. 2013, I think I was doing like, the games aren't always crappy, but the reviews usually are. Like that kind of stuff. Will Bradley says 1.5 million is more than enough to make another console. Is it though? If you look at the end of the day, it looks like the Nintendo Switch is probably past the Xbox One in sales, or is about to. And of course, the PlayStation 4 is at like over 100 million probably. So we don't know what Xbox One is at, but best guess could be 38 to 45 million, which would mean that the PlayStation 4 is like more than double that. So, and if sales are slowing down that much, they're going to make Scarlett, of course, but are they going to make stuff past that? I think that was really a bad problem. Mega Cloud says Gears built up a huge legacy and now they're coasting on it. Here's what I don't understand, Mega. Didn't they show, like in Gears 4, we got the beta 6 months or almost a full year before the game released? That way, if there was problems in the multiplayer, you had time to fix it. What can they fix in a month and a half? That's a worry. Let's see. Free Jack says Xbox isn't making enough money according to Microsoft. Microsoft also wants Xbox to make money the way that the rest of the company does via cloud and services. So that's true. Let's see. T Gameplay says, did you see that Gears 5 only has 4 cutscenes that use mocap? Yeah, apparently this is a big issue. We could be seeing another Gears game that's going to end up like an 8 out of 10. And that might sound horrible, but if Gears gets I think internally they want this game to do better than an 8 out of 10. So the fact that this game might get an 8 out of 10 would make it the lowest rated Gears since Judgment, and the lowest in the mainline series, right? So I think the last Gears got 84. Hold on, Gears 4 Metacritic. So yeah, I think that they want Gears to do better, and Gears 4 did 84 on Meta, right? So if and they supposedly played it super safe. Now, if Gears 5 ends up doing worse, I think that there's going to be a big shakeup or a big problem. And I hope that's not the case. I hope that we see more Gears, and I just hope that what can you do to Gears that keeps longtime fans happy, but can also draw in some new fans, right? Because I feel like that's something that they're going to have to accomplish. And I hope that they do. I hope that they can accomplish that, because for me personally, I feel like they haven't done a good job of conveying what the story is going to be. Like, they have these new modes and stuff, and I think that's great. But I think that you also have to be able to, you also have to be able to have things to kind of show off to everybody and have people excited about your games. Hold on. Will Bradley is, oh, well, hold on. Oh, Future 2500 says 2013 here. Oh, wow, man. I didn't know I had people that was still subbed. Emperor Empoleon says, crap, do you read your own YouTube comments? I read some, but for the most part, if people want to reach me, the best place is Xbox Live or PlayStation, or Twitter at @the_Crapgamer, because there I can get like all of them and not have, and it gives me a little bit more time to respond and stuff like that. What's up, Paige? Happy Sunday to you too. Steve says, crap, do you think PlayStation is going to take a big piece of PC players? The PlayStation already take half of Xbox fan base. Could be. Will Bradley says, link your source for No More Lockhart. I did a video about that not long ago with links in it. I wasn't the only one. Everybody did that. Brad Sams of therot.com was the one that kind of broke that as well. So yeah, there is that. Van said, he says, how and when is Xbox and its fans going to embrace the Japanese market? Xbox gets killed in second-party exclusives as well, like Judgment. Hey, I actually wanted to play Judgment. So if somebody wants to mooch me a copy of that, please feel free to. Crapgamer is my PSN name. I wanted to play it, but just no funds right now. So the problem that Microsoft faces in the Japanese market is nobody buys Xbox in Japan. So how would Microsoft make any kind of impact? If you look at what they did with the 360, okay, which if you guys wouldn't mind hitting the like button, we're closing in on 100 likes. I would definitely appreciate it. So if you look at the Xbox 360, the Xbox 360 bought multiple Japanese exclusives, right? Blue Dragon, there was numerous other ones that they bought, and it didn't really help them out as much as you would thought. So Microsoft kind of gave up, and this generation, they didn't try at all in Japan. So I'm not sure really what happens. I think Microsoft has done a concerted effort to go out there and talk to Japanese developers and try to get them to support the Xbox a little bit more than what they have been. So hopefully we start to see, even though we won't see any kind of exclusives, Japanese exclusives on Xbox, we might start to see more or less of those like third-party deals for Sony, and I think that would be good for Xbox fans, right? Because right now, stuff like Ni no Kuni and Judgment and Yakuza, like, why aren't these games on Xbox? Hell, I would love to know. I think that's a good question. So I would definitely love to see Microsoft do something. Can they buy a Japanese developer? I'm not sure if they can or not, but I think that would be cool if they did. Show that they're serious about some of this stuff, and I think that fans would kind of react in a very positive way if that were actually the case. So, at the end of the day, I think that it really comes down to, what Microsoft can do to please the fans. Pay attention a little bit more to the fans. Don't be so, sometimes Microsoft can be a little bit tone deaf. So I really hope that they kind of change that around. I wouldn't mind more Japanese game. Like, I give some of them a chance this generation. I played some Blue Dragon and some of that stuff last gen and Last Remnant. So I played a little bit of these type of games here and there. While they're not totally my thing, I've grown to understand that it's not about just what I like. It's about what, the majority can like or what other people can like. It doesn't always just come down to me and myself. So that's why I always had a problem kind of with what Phil was doing. If you look at a lot of the games that Microsoft pushes through, there are a lot of Phil games, right? Crackdown 3, that's a Phil game. He was the one that canceled Fable. He was the one that canceled Scalebound, but we get Voodoo Vince remastered. Like, some of this stuff makes no sense. And so for me personally, I just thought that it kind of, you have to be able to get games out there that people like, that maybe you don't like, but maybe that other people like, like there's more than just you and there's more than just me. So just as far as I'm concerned anyway, hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. That's not bad. I'm just saying there's more than just Phil. So Meg Day says they act like they are ashamed of the games that will come to Xbox. Well, listen, they're not ashamed, but what's come to Xbox where you can go, holy crap, they really did a good job here, right? Like, there's nothing. I was trying to think of games on Xbox this gen that people must play, right? Like console exclusives. I was trying to list some. I was like, maybe I'll do a video, 5 exclusives that PlayStation fans should try on Xbox or anybody. But when I was trying to come up with the list, I was like, Halo 5, no, that's mediocre. Gears 4, no, I mean, that's, okay, but it wasn't great. The Forza Horizon games are pretty good. I think 3 being the best. Ori is really good, but when I'm thinking of big AAA games, there's just nothing on the Xbox this generation that's been amazing. We haven't seen that amazing game that people should buy an Xbox for. So I do always think that that's sort of a weird thing anyway. I hope that we can get some of that to end the generation, or I think we can get some of that to start next generation, whatever that is. Next generation really comes down to what Microsoft feels like calling it and what Microsoft feels like doing, because I think that Microsoft is planning on doing some cross-gen stuff. I'm not so sold on the, everybody's like thinking that there might be forward compatibility. I think there's forward compatibility with your accessories, but I'm not sure you're going to be forward compatible with your games. So I'm not 100% sold that they're going to do that yet. And I haven't heard either way for sure which one they're going to do, but I hope Scarlett has its own discs. An Xbox One will still be relevant for a few years. But I feel like we never got full use of the Xbox One X. I know that sounds stupid, but why haven't we seen something that really pushes the X to the boundaries? Maybe Gears 5 will do that, but that remains to be seen. And I would love to just see something that new, that just takes full advantage of that Xbox One X power, that horsepower, and sort of give us what we're kind of craving in terms of Xbox fans. Hold on. Johnny Werns says, why the hell are you trying to devalue Gears? Whoa. I'm not trying to devalue Gears. It's my favorite franchise for Xbox. I'm just worried about Gears because Microsoft hasn't shown anything about it. So, and it's come out that they've only done 4 mocap scenes and they had problems with it. So I worry about the campaign. That's my problem. Rich of Cucumber says, hey, Crap, do you think Game Pass is cheapening Xbox games like Gears 5? I think it could be, because I know me, Mooch, and a lot of other people are just going to play it on Game Pass instead of buying it when we normally would have bought it. So I think that probably Gears 5 will have the lowest amount of sales that Gears has ever had. And I think that it's going to have the lowest amount of pre-orders that Gears has ever had. Yobi, what's up, my friend? Don't forget the Scalebound. Hold on, I missed that. What was that? Yeah, I can't even think of 2 exclusives. Yeah, it's hard to think of any. Don't forget the Scalebound because the developer Platinum is a Japanese game developer. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Microsoft had to cancel that game. It wasn't looking good. It was running really poorly. And at the end of the day, how were you going to make your money back? Supposedly they already spent $75 million on that game. And how are you going to get that money back on a Japanese game when those games don't traditionally sell well on Xbox anyway? So I can sort of understand that. Print Play says it's Netflix cheapening movies. Well, no, but I don't think Netflix has had movie quality movies, if you know what I mean, right? Just in my opinion, like you don't see movie quality movies. Just like I said, just strictly my opinion. And they have some decent movies, but we haven't seen anything movie quality like what we go to the movies for, at least in my opinion, like exclusive to Netflix. They've got some really great shows, but nothing like where I would go to a movie on an opening night to see, like nothing like that. So I understand where you're coming from, but I think that analogy is not exactly right. Sorry. Let me see. Give Phil a chance. Yobi says, I'm buying Gears. I get you, Yobi, but I have Gears. I have Game Pass Ultimate till 2022 because I took advantage of that upgrade. And so I'm going to get to play it early and stuff like that, and I don't have to buy it. And I think Mooch is doing the same thing. So I'm not going to buy it. But yeah, I mean, I think if you're buying it, that's cool. I just haven't seen a lot of the hype for Gears that we normally would. So Print Play says Xbox don't need any Game of the Year contenders. It doesn't even matter. All Xbox got to do is make great games. Just play whatever. Well, here's the thing. If you're making something like Game Pass, don't you got to have games that appeal to people? I think that's the thing that Microsoft needs. Like nobody's looking at Xbox's lineup and going, that's the hotness there. You know, where if you look at what Sony's doing and Nintendo's doing, their exclusives are really hot. So Sir X Marin says, crap, I'm going to go buy Scarlett. I'm not going to buy Scarlett. I'm going to get another Xbox One X because it's going to be much cheaper. And I'll wait until Scarlett proves itself. You can't go wrong with that. Mark Alpert says Gears is AA Game Pass game now. Where the single multiplayer? Yeah, listen, the single player is a little bit concerning just because we haven't seen anything from it and we're 2 months out. Like, how can you not have anything to show for that? You know, for that, I just don't understand why wouldn't they show off something for the single player? It makes absolutely zero sense. So it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. And hopefully they do that soon. Mr. Twister says, crap, what if Sony acquires Capcom or Take-Two, someone that big? I don't think they will because they would never make their money back on those type of studios. Hit the like button, everybody. Share it out. I would appreciate it. 9 Live says, give Phil a chance, dude. We've given him 5 years. I'm not sure how long we can give him. Yobi says, I'm going to buy it and Game Pass it. The physical is going to go be my trophy. I hear you, dude. I hear you. I'll probably buy the physical when it goes down to like $20 or something just because I like to have the exclusives. But, man, I just don't see myself buying that when I can play it early and not have to pay, $100 or whatever it is. Ori looks nice. Yes. Ori is a saving grace. If you look at some of the games that have really saved Xbox or helped Xbox this generation, I think it's pretty clear. What's up, Def Jam? Bam! I think it's pretty clear that without some of the smaller stuff like Cuphead and Ori, and I think one of the main saving graces for the AAA is the Forza Horizon series. Without those games, Xbox would truly just be a waste of time and money for everybody. Def Jam says, let's face it, Xbox drew the talent for this generation as far as games they went to move next generation. I hope so, man. I hope they come out swinging. You've got to come out with some amazing content next generation, right? And you've got to show it off. Like, they can't be afraid to show off their content like they've been so far this generation. You have to show stuff. What's up, Jack Knife? Appreciate you stopping by. Please hit the like button. Donnie D, Don Matrick. Jack E says, deep down is exclusive to Sony, so no Capcom from Microsoft ownership. Deep down, that game's not even coming out. Fun Creator says, I bet you will be called Xbox Infinite because Halo Infinite. You could call it, or Xbox Infinity, or something like that, right? I heard that was a rumor for the last Xbox, but even Phil doesn't know the name yet. Man, this is a tough question. Eliza Fiote says, do you think Bleeding Edge will succeed? No, I'm sorry. You know what? I just don't see who that game is for. And I feel like, these people, right? Like these developers, they have these ideas. Like they probably had Bleeding Edge and pitched that idea to various publishers, maybe even Microsoft back in the day, or Sony or Nintendo or Activision or somebody. They pitched this idea, okay? And nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted it. So don't believe that, it could be fun, it could be good. But the problem is, I just don't see this big need for like an exclusive 4v4 brawler like that. It seems like those that are out there have that niche already kind of locked up. So I don't think that it's something that, that Microsoft kind of foresees. I think it'll be fine in Game Pass, and they might go 2 million players have played it. But I think at the end of the day, that's not saying much, So yeah, I don't think it's going to be a huge hit or anything like that. Hopefully, it does okay for them. But I don't even really have much of a need or will to play that game. So, let's see. Hit that like button, like Def Jam says. Let me see what else we got. I feel I see frauds on Twitter happy about Microsoft dumping tradition. Look at the memes and the gifs praising the end of exclusives. Well, why 9 Power? I've never said that. I always said that exclusives matter because it makes us want to buy these consoles. And if it's true, Microsoft has only sold 1.5 million consoles this year worldwide, compared to almost 6 for PS4 and almost 6 for the Switch. That tells you all you need to know. People are buying those consoles because they have great exclusives. Now, third-party support is important. You need third-party support, but I think you need those killer exclusives that people just have to play. And I don't think Microsoft has had that this generation. And that's unfortunate. John Gay says, I'm done waiting for more games. I'm just keeping my Xbox One X for Gears 5 and selling it to GameStop to pre-order PS5 when I can. Yeah, I can understand that for sure. Next doc says, Xbox is no longer the platform I enjoyed for over a decade. I no longer recognize it. Few quality exclusives since 2010 when Phil started to implement his vision. Yep, I can't blame you right there either. Listen, hey, everybody hit the like button. Like I said, so if you guys are just joining me, Gears 5 is a highly anticipated game for me personally. Gears is my favorite franchise from Xbox. Like, don't get it twisted. I absolutely love Gears. It's my favorite franchise. It's amazing. I have a Gears tattoo. I such a good time with Gears in the past that I love it, So the problem is, per Rod Ferguson, I guess, there's only 4 mocap cutscenes, right? And they were having issues with this. So I think that could be, something that they're having a problem with, like, hey, it's not as good as what people were thinking. I hope that that's not the case. I hope that they decided to go with something different, but games not being mocapped or having problems with motion capture, that's not a good sign. And, that's something that could end up really hurting the game as we sort of go forward into the launch of the game. And I hope that they actually can kind of dispel that. Maybe that's why they're not showing the campaign, right? If you look at it, we don't have any campaign footage yet. So I hope that we can get, some campaign stuff soon. I reckon I associate it with the 360 and try to forget the horror of the Xbox One. So Xbox 362 would do that. Hey, I would love that. Next doc says Gears is awesome, but the lack of campaign footage is worrying as hell. Next doc, this is exactly my point, right? Why wouldn't they show some sort of campaign stuff, right? Like, what's there to be afraid of? Fun Creator says Death Stranding will make you forget about Gears crap. I'm looking forward to seeing what Death Stranding has to offer, man. I think that Death Stranding is going to be a Game of the Year contender. Kojima gets a lot of love from the different outlets and stuff. So I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a very interesting game. And I think people are probably going to really enjoy it. I think that it just comes down to a lot of personal taste and stuff like that as well. So, people buy weird stuff. And I think a new IP is very exciting. Gears 5 might not be as exciting to some people, But, we'll have to see how that works out at the end of the day. Excuse me. I had to take a drink. So if Microsoft is having so much problem selling an Xbox right now, and I mentioned this, and somebody attacked me on Twitter yesterday because I said this in Crossfire Podcast, right? So I said, look, people keep going, Game Pass, xCloud, Play Anywhere. It's going to help Xbox win next generation. And I'm like, they have all that stuff with the exception of xCloud right now. And it hasn't helped Microsoft do anything but come in last place. So if only 39 million people have bought an Xbox this gen, how is that a win, right? How are they planning on reaching these 2 billion gamers? I think that's something that people need to kind of look at and look into as we kind of go forward as well. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Hold on. Kojima is an actual stable genius, just like Donald Trump. Fun creator said that, not me. No Russian says 2 out of the big 3 franchises for Xbox have been in decline for a while now. No Russian. Here's the thing. You're not wrong, and you might even be able to throw in Forza Motorsport in there, right? So the Horizon series continues to be great. Let's not joke it. We got to keep that in mind as well. Randy Russell says that's why your subs are dropping. Listen, you guys, or a lot of people, or haters or whatever, pay way more attention to my subs and stuff than I do, right? Like, I have no problem with that. If people are unhappy, then go find something that makes you happy. Like, honestly, I think that's, like, it doesn't hurt me. You've never really seen me out there bragging about subscribers or views or anything like that, because that's not what I'm about. I'd rather kind of be honest about my opinions on stuff, and if people don't like it, then they can leave, and that's fine, But I'm going to continue to do my thing and speak my mind until there's nobody watching. How's that sound? So as long as there's one person watching me, I'm going to continue doing my thing. Oh, man. Sucks, right? Yeah, terrible. Primitive Meat says, crap, as far as of now, I'm just going to keep my X and grab a PS5. Microsoft just hasn't done enough to make me the norm day one buyer. Hey, Primitive, I'm the same with you. I'm hoping that that can be the case, I'm hoping. So, TD Bank says crap lost 500 bots. Oh no, free scrap metal. I don't even know what that is. Actually, one of the things is, all right, so I'll tell you guys a little bit something interesting. So YouTube instituted new analytics for everybody, right? Like, these are much more in-depth analytics. So you can know how many subscribers you can reach, right? Like, imagine this, right? You have a platform like YouTube, and you don't know how many subscribers you reach. Like, if I have 50,000 subscribers, when I do a video, shouldn't I reach 50,000 subscribers? You would think so, but no. So looking at these new analytics, I see that 9% of my subscribers get notifications. 9% out of 59,000 or whatever the hell I have. 9%, that's low. So 9% get notified. Out of those 9%, like 8%, only 8% of those 9% have YouTube notifications turned on. So I'm reaching an incredibly small amount of my subscriber base. That's kind of how YouTube works, and I'm not really sure how their algorithms and stuff like that goes. It kind of is what it is. I've always kind of had, I guess, a lower reach for subscribers than I have subscribers. So, I mean, it's always kind of been that way for me. And now that I do a little bit less content, I used to do, okay, so last year this time, I was doing in a month per average about 100 videos a month, right? So now I'm doing something like 35 to 40 videos less than I was doing last year. So I'm doing less content. I just don't have the time that I had before. And that's just something that I'm doing. So that's basically a little bit of insight on the YouTubes. And even though I've been doing YouTube for a long time, I still don't know the ins and outs of how they work this stuff. So, it's one of those things that, hold on. Carlos Torres, he goes, I laugh when people talk shit about crap. He still has 59,000. You know what? Listen, I appreciate the subscribers. I'm not knocking the subscribers. If you guys want to sub, go ahead. A lot of people watch me without even being subbed, and that's fine too. Like, it's all good. I'm not one of those people that like checks my subscribers every day or anything like that. Whenever I would be like, when I hit 60,000, somebody told me that, right? They're like, hey, crap, you just hit 60,000. I was like, oh, really cool. You know, like I'm thankful and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not a bragger. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, hell yeah, 60,000, like I thought it was cool because I never thought I'd hit 1,000. So a lot of people that would think, oh, well, crap's in decline or whatever, maybe, if this is the last hurrah for me, then so be it. I've had a hell of a run, but, I'm going to stick around until there's less than, until there, as long as I got that one person watching, I'm going to stick around and have a good time. So for me, when I hit 1,000, I never thought it would happen. And then like I adjusted my goals and it was like 5,000 and then 10,000. And once I hit those numbers, everything after that has been gravy for me, like just holy crap. And now it's just like unexpected, like anything that happens. So I'm not really surprised by any of this stuff. It's just been an incredible ride. I have such a good time with it. And it wasn't always that way. Like early on, I got so much hate. There were times where you consider maybe, not doing it anymore, but I just have, such a fun time with it now. And I think, now that I'm not hating on Xbox per se, I mean, I'm giving them a hard time when I think it's deserved, but I'm not hating on PlayStation either. So I think I'm more that middle road, and that's more enjoyable for a certain group of people. They don't want to see me hating on their platform of choice nonstop, but they're okay with me complaining when it's needed, whether it be Xbox or PlayStation. And so that's the goal going forward, and just be entertaining and have fun, man. Maybe you guys listen to the podcast and, or Crossfire or Xbox Nation, and I'm playing some harmonica, or we're doing some skits or top 10s on MNC. We're just having a good time, man. I just want to entertain and have fun with you guys. I'm not about that drama or stuff. Apologies have been made. I've got no issues with dealers or the Colts or the Rams or Zaire's. You know what I mean? I have no problems with any of these people. They all do their own things. I do my own thing. Everybody's on a clean slate now. We've all talked it out, hashed it out. I'm not one of those drama YouTubers. So, I can understand why people kind of are attracted to that kind of stuff. The same reason they liked, like Jerry Springer and that kind of stuff. That's just not for me. I'd rather talk video games and come up with ideas for video game shows. So that's what I'm doing. Y9 Power, thank you very much. What kind of game would I want Microsoft to make? TJ MacGyver. I would like to see Microsoft make a action adventure third person RPG, right? Maybe that's what Fable will be, but I would like to see them make something like that. Hold on. Low End Average Gaming says, I'll watch you regardless, boss. You're an absolute riot to watch. Hell, I would love to get a chance to shoot the shit with you on the gaming sometime. Add me, MOH Space Crap Gamer. Primitive Meat says, no crap, lost the ones who drink the Kool-Aid and can't handle the facts. He's passionate fan. Well, that's the thing, right? And maybe this will help once I'm on camera a little bit. Yeah, I'm a big fat ass. Who cares, right? Like for years I struggled. I was like, maybe I'll go on camera, right? Maybe I'll go on camera. Maybe I'll, maybe people see how passionate I am about this stuff, because it's hard to lie when you're kind of on camera like that, right? So, I'm a big guy, but then at the end of the day, I'm like, it's not like these people haven't seen a big guy before, right? So what the hell does it matter if I'm on camera or not? So I'm working on kind of doing some different things on my channel in the very near future. If you guys kind of want face reveals and kind of stuff like this, I'm going to be splicing maybe in some footage of myself in the video. Certain videos, I certainly can't have enough time to do that for every video, but some videos, I will definitely do that. Give Me Your Jacket says, I think Xbox One X is the best console in value on the market. Multiple console owners and PS4 fanboys trash Xbox more than anyone. As an exclusives comparison, pound for pound, PlayStation and Nintendo don't cut it on 4K. 4K, 100%, 100%. Fun Creator says, crap, I think Phil Spencer is watching this stream and I think he's crying. Even crap has abandoned me. First cloud, then sales, and not even him. I haven't abandoned Xbox. I like Xbox. I like Xbox a lot. I want Xbox to kind of respect their hardcore fans that have been fans for years and years and years, and I feel like they haven't really done a good enough job of getting us. I don't understand why people would hate me for relaying that I want Microsoft to get more exclusives out there for all of us, right? I'm tired of Nintendo and Sony having the Game of the Year contenders and these games that sell 10 or 12 million, or buying consoles. You know how many people bought a Nintendo Switch for Smash Brothers or Zelda, right? You know how many people bought a PlayStation for God of War or an Uncharted 4 or a Bloodborne or, a Spider-Man? How many of those 199 PS4s did Sony sell? Millions. They sold out. They literally sold out of them at the holiday. And Microsoft bundles Minecraft with theirs, or Forza Horizon 3, which is a good game, but it's a racing game, which is by nature a niche product. And I love the Forza series, but it's a niche product compared to like these other well-known games that Sony and Nintendo have. That's tough to take. Waiting 5 years for a new IP announcement, that sucks. And, I've let my anger out about that, and I can lose a ton of more subs, and I probably will. And I'm okay with that. Because every day when I do content is a chance to gain more, is a chance to break through. And so as long as I'm doing my thing, I think that it'll come across as genuine and people will have, a good time or whatever. So hopefully you guys that have stuck around will continue to stick around. I'm not going to bash Xbox for the sake of bashing Xbox because I feel like that'd be insincere. Some people think I'm doing that. It's not the case. Some people will go, well, crap is losing subs. Maybe he'll switch back to liking Xbox again. I haven't not liked. I've still mixed in positive Xbox videos, right? When warranted. It's not an act. It's not. I've been disappointed with Xbox, and so I've kind of expressed that. Maybe a little bit much, but it's just because I've been so disappointed. And as my favorite brand, it hurts, when you see him just kind of, when I heard that Phil Spencer literally thought that this past E3 was like the best Xbox E3 of all time, I was in disbelief. I was like, who is this guy like how? They literally didn't show anything. I'm disappointed because they didn't show anything. Nothing new. They didn't get me hyped up for Scarlett. They didn't get me hyped up for the future. There's absolutely no reason to get excited about what they showed off at E3. And so I was kind of bummed out, you know what I mean? When I heard that, I was like, oh man, what are they doing? Hit the like button, everybody. Appreciate it. Hold on. I'm trying to answer some of these games, or these questions, excuse me, as you guys hit the like button. JD says, I would love a top tier hack and slash. I would love that too. Maybe Ninja Theory. They would be the perfect ones to do that. Ninja Theory would be a good one to do a Thor game. The way Sony got an exclusive Spider-Man game and Marvel Ultimate Alliance exclusive to Nintendo, I would love Ninja Theory to get a Thor game as a hack and slash game. Would be great. Red Dead 2, great game. Rich says, crap, do you think Microsoft will announce 3 or 4 new AAA when they announce their next Xbox? I think they're going to announce a new Ninja Theory one, maybe an Initiative one, but I don't think those are going to come out for a while. And I think they're going to announce the next Fable and, of course, Halo. You don't want to announce too many at launch because you want a steady flow of games as the years roll on. So Sony, I think, is going to announce Horizon Zero Dawn 2, the next Uncharted, probably a new God of War, but they don't want to announce everything next year. They're going to save some stuff for the following year, and they can afford to do that because they always have stuff kind of cooking, and people like it when they do that. Microsoft, on the other hand, it's a different story. They haven't always had that kind of, that luck. Like, I genuinely missed Sony being at E3. I genuinely missed them being there because without Sony being at E3, you have no chance at any kind of excitement or unknown, So that was the part that I missed most. Like Sony showing off a brand new IP like Horizon Zero Dawn. Not my favorite game, but it's still that crap moment. When Microsoft shows off their stuff, like over the last few years, it's been stuff like Recore, like this AA game, State of Decay 2, Crackdown 3. That stuff's just not exciting. Nobody's going to go, man, I got to pick me up an Xbox One to play that Crackdown 3. And I don't blame them for not being excited about that. I wouldn't be either. So, yeah, definitely not. Dual Purpose says, if Microsoft makes a Guyver exclusive game, I will buy the first time. No one has done a Guyver game to my knowledge. I don't know what that is. So, Fun Creator says Sony will launch PS5 with Bloodborne 2, Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Zero Dawn 2, God of War 2, etc. I don't think they launch with all 4 of those because they cannibalize each other, but you could have them within the launch year window or year and a half, and I think that would be great. Primitive Meat says, if I could talk to Uncle Phil directly, I just say stop kicking us your hardcore bass and the chops, and it would all be great. Well, here's the thing. I've written Phil Spencer. I've emailed him. We've had interactions. We've had talks. Some positive, some not so positive. Phil really does not believe in sort of making a game that makes other people jealous or whatever. I was so downhearted after this year's E3 that I decided not to email him because I felt like it wouldn't matter anyway because he was being really critical of people that were critical of him this past E3. So, I hope that they fix and pay attention to more than just like the super fans that love everything that they do. The ones that are like xCloud is great. It's the next best thing, and they're not going to use it. Like, listen to some of the hardcore fans for a change. I think that would help them out tremendously. JD Gamer says, so far, introducing me to this community and you do, I say thank you. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I know I don't do as much as I used to be able to do, but if you guys wouldn't mind supporting it, I mean, if you can't support like the MNC show on Patreon, which the link is below for there, just view some videos, give some thumbs up, man. That's all you can do, and that's free. Just I think the more you guys do that, the more stuff gets in circulation and it helps out. I don't know how to break through to it where I can reach more subscribers other than to keep telling people to like and share it out and hit the bell so you're notified. But I'm gonna keep doing my thing. Affy says, come on, guys, hit the like button. Crap's doing an amazing job here. Thanks. I appreciate it. Gran Turismo 7 want VR support. Hey, VR is the truth. I love it. Do I think Microsoft giving some of their Azure tech makes Microsoft not have an advantage over Sony? No. In fact, it's advantage Sony. Let me explain. Because they're going to have the same servers and stuff that Microsoft has, but they're going to have better games. It all comes down to content, you guys. Who has the best content? Well, it's definitely Sony. So if Sony has the best content and Microsoft has the best servers, and now Sony's using Microsoft servers, then of course that's going to be the best thing for Sony. Sony has way better exclusives like that, and that's not me knocking Microsoft because I think Microsoft can come up with some good ones. But right now, there is none. You know what I mean? So that's really, really kind of pisses me off as an Xbox fan, is the lack of exclusives and the lack of announcements that we get. So, I'm looking forward to kind of getting into I'm going to try out the Gears 5 multiplayer. They announced that they're going to be showing off some of this stuff or escalation or whatever it is. If they mess up Gears, I'm going to be very pissed. And it's not one of those type of piss where just being dramatic. I've got a Gears Crimson Omen tattooed on my arm. You know what I mean? That would be how pissed off I'd be. I don't want to, have my favorite franchise ruined because they wanted to be inclusive, or because they wanted to change it away from being a dude bro shooter, or because they had problems with mocap, right? They should know how to get their game out. That's their job. Do a good job with it. The fact that they're only beta testing this 2 months away from release, and this game's probably going to go gold next month, which, by the way, gold means they ship it and they ship the physical discs, and they send it for the final like patches and like the QA stuff or whatever to make sure that it can pass certification. So that's probably going to happen soon, which means anything that they fix going into the actual launch of the game, that anything that they can actually fix will have to be fixed. Like, I don't know how they're planning on fixing any of the stuff, the balancing and stuff like that. I feel like you've got to have balance well ahead of the time when you go gold with this stuff. Look at Gears 4. Whether or not you liked it or not, they actually did the beta tests for Gears 4 well before it was ready to launch. I think it was like 8 months, maybe even a year before the launch, and they took the feedback and actually was able to fix the things that were wrong. And I hope that they do that. They obviously aren't going to do that with this one. So it does concern me. There's concern there for sure. For me anyway. TD Bank says PS5 because it'll sell 150 million. I wouldn't be surprised if the PS5 sold a ton over 100 million. Let me see. What do we got here? Crash Warp 240p, Crackdown 3, Scarlett 4K. Let me see. I'm playing the best version of third parties on console with the X And games like Forza Horizon 4 and Gears 5 smokes every PS exclusive. I like how ponies are picking AA games as comparisons. Well, here's the thing. Give me your jacket. Gears and Forza Horizon are AAA games, but mostly what Microsoft has been giving us look like, they look a lot like AA games. The State of Decay's 2, Crackdown 3, even stuff like that. So yeah, that's basically how it kind of works. Fun Creator says Gears 5 looks very feminine though. Crap, get ready to constantly. Oh man, I'm not even gonna read that because I don't know. What's up, Mooch? How's it going? We got Mooch here. I checked out Mooch's stream earlier. He was streaming Days Gone. The PS4 exclusive was very, very fun. I love that game. Jet Fan says, hey, crap, can physical media die already? No, I think you need to have physical media. You got to give people options. We're living in the world of options. So you've got to let people have the options to kind of listen to and do what they want in terms of their exclusives and how they want to play it. And I think that's very important kind of going forward as well. Man, nice seeing you here, Mooch. Let me see what else I got. Let's see. Can you explain to me if both the PS5 and Scarlett can do 4K 60 at a minimum? What other selling point? And please don't say ray tracing because there's no way you can push 4K 60 with ray tracing. Well, listen, Dean Filgaretti, both are going to be very similar. Xbox Scarlett and the PS5 are going to be completely similar. They're both going to. The ray tracing is the buzzword of the day. So hardware-wise, the Scarlett supposedly can do ray tracing, and then software-wise, the PS5 can do it. So Xbox Scarlett will have the edge there. But both are going to be able to do 4K 60 natively, supposedly on most things. And I think ray tracing is going to be something you're going to have to enable or disable, but your frame rate might take a hit. So I disagree, Muttley. Days Gone was really, really good. Days Gone was really, really good. I loved it. SB Nameless says, crap, keep enjoying those video games. I am, man. I'm definitely enjoying them. I'm having a good time gaming. We're all just kind of getting there or whatever. Xbox One 4K says ray tracing is overrated. It kills resolution and frame rate. So you could see a situation where you can enable ray tracing next gen, but the problem will be you might have to play it in 1440p, 30 frames per second or whatever. So I think there's going to come some compromises there. But I still think next generation is going to bring some phenomenal graphics, and I think that's a thing that a lot of people love. 9Live says Days Gone was so buggy. Days Gone was buggy at first, but then they kept patching it like day after day after day, and now it's super smooth and just a really fun experience and a great game. So definitely a game to pick up if you like zombie games, if you kind of like survival zombie games with a really fun story, with a really good story, because Days Gone is a very underrated game. Hey, please hit the like button, you guys and girls. I would appreciate it. You guys are so fantastic coming out here on a Sunday. We weren't able to do M&C today, and Mooch was streaming when I decided to start this. So, I just wanted to kind of touch base and talk a little bit about this stuff. In terms of the Xbox One sales, I know a lot of people go, sales don't matter. And I used to be one of those, right? One of those people that says, sales don't matter. What's it matter? Who cares? But you know what? Sales do matter in terms of continuing on with the franchise or continuing on with a console or whatever. If you're not selling enough to continue on with the brand, that's a problem. And so that is really my only issue. You've got to be able to have your brand continue on. Like people that say sales don't matter, that's why we didn't get a Sunset Overdrive 2 or a Quantum Break 2 or a Rise 2. These games didn't sell enough to warrant a sequel. So sales definitely matter in that aspect. You've got to keep people happy. You've got to get people excited about these games, and then they'll support it, right? Why is Days Gone, a game that was a 72 Metacritic, going to get a sequel? Because it ended up being good, right? The developers made it right. They kept patching it. They kept fixing it, word of mouth, and it ended up being number 2 on the NPD back-to-back months. And I think in the top 2 or 3 in the UK for back-to-back months. That's a lot of sales. And I think Sony understands that. And so now Sony Bend will get a chance to make a sequel and make the game even better. So Microsoft hasn't given any sequels to us this entire generation except for Ori, right? So we get another Ori game, but we don't get, We don't get anything like a Quantum Break or a Rise or something like that, and I think that sucks. Carlos Torres, thank you very much with the 99 cents. Appreciate it. And another 99 cents. Man, appreciate it. Blanco Gaming says, I kind of wish they would have delayed Days Gone by a month. Game would have gotten much better review scores. Blanco, you're true. Listen, so they sent out Days Gone a week earlier than people were supposed to get it to review it, and they reviewed it before the first patch was out. And so that's the version of the game that they reviewed. Then after the next week, they patched a ton of these games, game problems, and now it's like so much better than what it was. Next Doc says, here's a fact about Days Gone. Xbox exclusives can't touch the detail and attention to detail of Days Gone. Here's a fact, or here's an opinion piece by me, right? Days Gone, if that would have been an Xbox One new IP exclusive, would have been the best new IP of this generation from Microsoft, because that game is really, really good, really fun, really mature, just has a lot of different options and things like that. Really fun game. If you haven't played it, I suggest it. It's one of those games that you can definitely pick up for much cheaper right now, and really good. T Gameplay says, the ending of Days Gone is amazing, won't spoil. Yeah, if you get the good ending, it definitely sets up a sequel. So I think that that's one of the games that that people could get really excited for in the future. And I think we'll see probably a sequel from them announced in the next couple of years when it's ready to go or whatever. So yeah, very, very exciting to see, to see that, you don't see new review scores or whatever, or new IP get that kind of treatment from their publishers and things like that. So nice to see that. Definitely a fun game. Definitely a game that is underrated in my opinion as well. So hopefully they continue to support it. Double M says, facts, you earned a sub from that. Hey man, I could use one because according to other people, I'm losing a ton. Rich says, remember the day when Quantum Break went to PC crap? Do I remember it? I still have a video on it. Microsoft gave up on the console itself. So Microsoft came out in 2013, did an Xbox One reveal, and showed off Quantum Break. And for years, for 3 years, said it's an Xbox exclusive, only on Xbox. 4 weeks before the launch, they go, nope, it's coming to PC too. I knew people that were PC gamers that bought Xbox Ones to play this game. Very, very anti-consumer to do that by Microsoft, right? They announced it for years. It's a console. It's exclusive to console. Then they announced it literally last minute. People could have already bought an Xbox. Very short-sighted of them not to announce that beforehand. And the only reason why they did was because their games weren't selling for crap on the Xbox by itself. Is it still selling for crap even with the PC stuff included? I couldn't tell you. It doesn't seem like they're doing very good, just to be honest with you. But I've been wrong before. Maybe I was told that having their games on PC meant that we would get so many more exclusives. We'd get tons more exclusives, people. Tons. And that hasn't really been the case or whatever. So, one bit of good news that broke yesterday. Maybe you guys have heard this. The Batman Arkham collection leaked for the PS4 and Xbox Ones. I wish they would have included Arkham Origins, though. There's no Arkham Origins in this. So we won't be seeing any sequels in the near future. But Warner Bros. Interactive have kind of leaked that this Arkham collection with Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight, and it looks like this is going to be coming to Xbox One and PS4 kind of soon. I wish they would have included Origins, though. Origins is criminally underrated and such a damn good game. So it is a bit of a shame to see that they're not giving that game any love. Hold on. Let's see. Days Gone also has challenge modes now. Yes, they do. They have really, really cool challenge modes. It's like a horde mode or whatever, which is really cool. Hey, maybe we can get up over 200 likes if you guys could be so kind as to give us some likes. Days Gone is okay. Oh, Will Bradley says he just finished. It's okay at best. I think if you're really no, Jet fan, listen. It's a brand new thing with all 3 games. I know Return to Arkham is Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, but this is all 3 games. And I think like Game of the Year edition of Arkham Knight. So it's going to be possibly all new achievements as well. and I guess they're going to be like 4K or something on Xbox and PlayStation 4. So I think that that's really cool. I think that it makes a lot of sense, and that there's a lot of those. You would do that maybe a year before coming out with your next game in the series. So WB Montreal supposedly maybe working on a new Batman game, or Rocksteady or something. But those are some of my favorite games. Absolutely brilliant games. You can't say enough about them, because I think that, they're just so much fun. They're so satisfying. Those games are so satisfying. So Arkham Asylum, I beat on the Xbox 360. Then I beat the Game of the Year version on Xbox 360 because it was separate achievements. So I beat it twice on Xbox 360. I beat it once on the PS4 or PS3, excuse me. Then I beat the collection on Xbox One. So I've beaten Arkham Asylum, and I did the same thing with City. So I beat those games each 4 times, compared on 360, Xbox One, PS3. So I would play through those again, because now that I know those games so well, I think I can beat Arkham Asylum in like 7 hours or something. It's ridiculous how fast I can beat that game. One of the few games I can get through on like normal or harder difficulties, because I know everything so well in that game. But just such a fun game. Crapgamer, what do you think 2014 Crap would say to 2019 Crap? I would probably call me a pussy or something. I don't know. He probably wouldn't be too happy. But listen, times change. People's feelings are, you can just get in so much trouble nowadays for saying almost anything. So, Double M says, I'll even throw a PSN friend request. I once came at you on Twitter and you fired back. Seems like we both mellowed out. Well, listen, man, you can't just, I'm at the point where I don't take shit from people anymore. Like for years on YouTube and all these, like, people just would make videos about me and talk shit about me, and I would take it. I'm tired of that. I would rather hash things out with somebody and talk to them. So I would block people on Twitter or whatever. I unblocked almost everybody that I could think of. And I would rather hash it out and talk to somebody and try to work things out, rather than just, blocking or over opinions. As long as you keep it civil, man, I'll keep it civil as well. Crap, you take a situation and make it negative as possible. I don't know, man. Listen, as a Gears fan, how can them saying, hey, we only did 4 mocap scenes and then we had problems with it, and they haven't shown any of the campaign at all. Hey, listen, I'm sure that the multiplayer is fine. It's going to be more Gears multiplayer. I love that. But how can we sit back and go, them not showing any campaign footage and them having problems with the, the mocap and stuff like that? How is that a good thing for us as gamers? Like, I don't know if that is a good thing. So I'm not sure that it is a good thing. So hopefully we can, get some clarification and something from them. Hopefully we see something sooner rather than later, because I feel like, I feel like we deserve Gears to be great. So just in my opinion anyway. Let's see, what else do we got? Let's see here. Any other questions? Crap, what's the most difficult game you beat? Difficult game that I beat? I don't know. That's a toughie. I beat Halo Reach on the hardest difficulty. That was kind of difficult. Vincent says, crap, if Phil Spencer got fired, who would you like to take his place? Somebody that would make some Xbox console decisions. Cross Xaber says, 2014 Crap wouldn't believe Xbox One would go 4 or 5 years without a AAA new IP. Listen, you're probably right. I would just explain to 2014 Crap. I'd be like, yo, Crap. And then he'd be like, what's up, Crap? And I'd be like, Crap, listen, there's no exclusives, man. Like, you got good games to launch your console with, and then you literally are going to have nothing for almost 3 years. And even the Gears game that comes out and the Halo game that comes out, they're not going to be that good. I mean, they're going to be solid games, but they almost take a step back. That would be what I would say. If you like, the games took a step back, their pillars took a step back, and they didn't bother making new pillars or getting anything, you know, different, you know. So I would hope that they actually to wake up a bit. So, game trailers. He says, "Look, guys, crap gamer propaganda again." There's my friend, game trailers. Me and him go back and forth on Twitter, all the time. Donut Terminator says, "Sea of Thieves is better than Fortnite." I'll give you that for sure. T Gameplay says, "Microsoft acquired third-party developers. You're actually not getting more games." That's a weird way to look at it. But yeah, hold on. Plop. He says mocap means cutscenes. You can't play cutscenes. No, but what does it say if the story is lacking cutscenes or lacking story? What if this story is only a couple hours long, right? And we're already complaining that we're not seeing enough in terms of story-based games from Microsoft. They just gave up Alan Wake. So if we don't see any, if we don't see a great story, you could be looking at a Gears game that scores the lowest and therefore might do the worst for Microsoft in the series. I don't want to see that. I think this series has legs. You just got to get people excited about it again, right? You got to get people excited and happy. And so far, I don't think Microsoft has been able to do that. So hopefully they are actually able to do that in the future. Secret Sauce says Microsoft needs someone like Peter Moore, but then again, maybe those directives come from higher than Phil, board of directors, so maybe Peter wouldn't make a difference. Well, here's the problem. I've heard Satya Nadella is all about the services and cloud and that kind of stuff. So you could be right. I don't know. I hope that if it's true that Microsoft is going third party, I think that's a shame. I feel like we need the competition and we need these differences. These consoles being different from one another is what makes gaming fun, right? And what gives us the best deals. Game Trailer says, "How's Microsoft hiding Gears 5? They did show trailers. They haven't shown the campaign. And when was the last trailer that they've actually shown outside of the E3 stuff?" And Rod Ferguson, the head of Coalition Game Trailers, said that they only did 4 mocap scenes. So does that mean there's only 4 cutscenes in the game? That would make an incredibly short game. So that's a bit of a problem. Plus, they're only doing the beta 2 months before launch. What can they theoretically fix in that amount of time, right? That would be something that you kind of have to consider as well. Like, that's the thing that I'm worried about. Like, how are they going to fix this? If you only have 2 months before launch and the game might go golden next month, like patches, update, like how are you going to fix your game in time, right? Like it might take more than just 2 play tests. What's up, Van Hazard? He says, "Hey, Crap Gamer, how are you? Everything else by Microsoft is just an app. Why not Xbox? Well, cake batter. That's the way Microsoft really wants it to be." Ryzen G says, "Crap, have you played Neo?" No, I don't own it. Double M says, "All just some summer game recommendation after you finish Days Gone. Rage 2 is fun, and maybe 2 or 3 through Evil Within 2. I want to play Rage 2. Hey, I'm going to try to mooch it. So any of you crapaholics, if there is such a thing, MOH Space Crap Gamer, I would love to play Rage 2. $0 right now, but Mooch is teaching me to mooch stuff. I saw Mooch today, mooched a big donation today in his stream, man. Maybe I can mooch Rage 2 from somebody. I would love to actually play that 1080p 60 on my Xbox One X. I think it'd be a good time. Falling Vector says, "The Gears franchise needs God of War type rework." Supposedly they changed a lot in the campaign. I don't know. I have to wonder what they changed, because they promised that they changed a lot. They're like, "We changed a lot. Almost open world elements, blah, blah, blah." But what have they really changed? Like if they're not showing anything, how do we know? That's my problem. Like, I want to see some of these changes, and they don't look like, they don't look like they can, they're going to be talking about it too much. So hopefully they can. Hold on. I'll share playing it on PSN if you want to try it before you buy it. Well, I think we'd have to share each other's email or whatever. The Xbox One X was a wasted opportunity for bigger productions. I agree. Mojo Blue says you can actually have more gameplay with less mocap. I like playing games, not watching. But Mojo, don't you agree that Gears needs a strong story after kind of a mediocre one last game, right? If you look at Halo 5, it had a very, very mediocre story, and most people wanted to play as Chief. They wanted something different. And what happens if Microsoft gives another mediocre story to their flagship franchise? Like, that could be a problem. So hopefully they do good with it. Billy Kara says, Duel, they should remake the guy. Oh, you guys are talking about some kind of anime. Give Me Your Jacket says, Jesus, God of War isn't the bar setter in video games. The only ones that think Sony IPs are the bar setters are Sony super fans. Let me invite my friend on a run. Oh, wait, it's only half a product. Listen, Give Me Your Jacket. I'm kind of with you, but God of War is literally probably the best single player game I've ever played. So keep that in mind. And for what it's worth, God of War was absolutely a fantastic, fantastic game. They did such a great job with it. I can't say enough good things about it. Absolutely fantastic game. Let's see. I think Microsoft needs a strong new IP, not just Forza 25, Halo 47, Gear 69. This is exactly my point. Hey guys, can we get to 200 likes, man? It would mean the world to me if you guys could hook that up, man. I would love to get that. Just a random Sunday afternoon podcast. Maybe I'll still do a crappy podcast tomorrow. I don't know. I'm working on a couple videos, so we'll have to see how it goes. Like I said, I'm thinking about doing a little bit of some face reveal, some mixture of me mixed in with the videos and stuff like that, because I think it would put a little bit more intimacy between me and you guys. And I just think that it's probably time. So yeah, I definitely kind of want to do that and just see how it kind of works out. Maybe just try it. Couldn't hurt. And talk video games, have a good time. That's what it's all about. Hold on, I see a lot of questions here. Game Trailer says, crap, Rod Ferguson said that he'd taken a risk for Gears 5. He says he can play it safe for Gears 4. They want Xbox gamers trust, so now he has to take plenty of risks. We'll laugh that Gears 5 get a 90+ score. Listen, Game Trailers, if they took risks and it's great, I'm happy, man. I have a Gears tattoo. I love Gears. It's my favorite franchise. I'm just worried about the campaign. Sleepy Goblin says, I heard you say Darksiders 3 was the best just last week, crap. Hey, Sleepy Goblin, hook it up with Rage 2, man. I want to play Rage 2. I actually thought Darksiders 3 was pretty good, but I'm not sure if it was as good as the first Darksiders, in my opinion. So I do think it was a good game, and I do think that franchise has legs. Did you see you can play as Jack in Gears 5 for new gameplay for new players? I think in campaign 2. It's a bullet point for the game on their website. I don't know. That's weird. I mean, they did 2005 remake, but that wasn't the same, and it wasn't complete still. Yeah, so I guess it kind of depends. I'm hoping. Squeamish Cub says, out of all the Batman Arkham games, which one is my favorite? I would say Arkham City, probably. I thought Arkham City was really good. Jet Fan says, crap, do you think Apple has the potential to take Microsoft's place once they go third party? Not in the gaming space. Look, we're at this weird place in the gaming space where I feel like the reason why Google is going to fail is because they're just doing only streaming, and that's way too soon to do that. If they would have come out with a box that does both streaming and regular hardware games, I think they would be doing much better, or they allowed you to like download the games. But I think anyone new is going to have a hard time. The reason Microsoft is having a hard time is because people have a hard time letting go of the old guard. Everybody's a gatekeeper, right? So the club, Nintendo and Sony right now, man, Microsoft is going to continue to have a hard time. They're looked at as outsiders a lot of the time. So not that there's bias in the media anymore or anything like that. Just gamers in general look at Microsoft as still kind of newcomers and not worthy. And part of that's Microsoft's own fault because the lack of exclusives and stuff like that. So, just my thoughts and opinions anyway. Hold on. Itchy Frosty says, I like how people knock Microsoft for making many sequels, Halo, Forza, yet fail to remember just how many we've had. A dozen Gran Turismo, several God of War, several Uncharted. See my point? Here's the point, though, Itchy Frosty. You're right, but the problem is, so Sony will release an Uncharted 4, but they'll also release a new IP like Horizon Zero Dawn. They'll release a game like Gran Turismo 7, but they'll also release, a brand new IP like Days Gone or Death Stranding or Ghost of Tsushima, right? So they're not just releasing the same old time and time again. They're releasing great games and then new IPs as well. They're nurturing their games though. So that's, I think, the big problem. Double M says, I'm new to Gears and I'm trying part 4 out, and I do like the gameplay. I see why Xbox folks like it. The multiplayer is really good too. The thing I would say is take your time with it because the multiplayer takes a while to kind of, I've been playing Gears for many, many years, and I'm not a master of it by any means. But, most people anyway, I think, sort of like give up on that game very quickly because it's a game that is hard to really kind of get down. And so they get their ass kicked and then they leave and never come back. That's a big problem. So it's such a hardcore game, but I love it. I love Gears. I think it's fantastic. Next doc says, are you worried Rod Ferguson will change Gears too much? Gears gameplay is unique and refreshing in today's culture of copy and paste gameplay. I hope they don't change it too much. If they want to do a little bit more open world stuff, I get it. They changed the protagonist. I get it. Just keep most things the same. You got to keep the gameplay tight and you got to keep it fast paced. And I think it'll be fine. I see somebody talking about Knack 3. Itchy Frosty says, crap, I see your point to an extent, but we can't use Ghost of Tsushima or Death Stranding as great since they're not out yet. The same reason we can't say that Gears 5 will be bad. I'm not saying Gears 5 will be bad. My simple question is, should we panic a little bit because we normally would have got some amazing trailer with some kind of song, right? Or they would have showed the campaign by now, but they haven't showed any of the campaign. So I think that's the problem. I think Gears is going to be fine, but is it going to be fine like at a 80 Metacritic, or is it going to be fine like a 85? Because the last one was 84, which I think is the lowest one besides Judgment. Anonymous says, crap, do you think Marcus Phoenix for Mortal Kombat 11 since Bruce Campbell said he wasn't in it? I would think that'd be pretty kick-ass, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But I think that it would be pretty awesome to see that. I don't mind Microsoft kind of loaning out some of their characters as long as, those characters' games are still Xbox-centric, So I think it's really important to keep those games very, very Xbox-centric for sure. If you guys are just joining me, please like this video, share it out, hit that bell so you're notified of everything as soon as it drops, because that's super, super important. And I'm very appreciative to you guys and gals that are able to kind of watch the live stream, especially since it's a live stream that I was able to do, sort of last minute. Just kind of wanted to come out here and kind of do this for you guys. I do this from time to time. It's just good fun, and have a good time with it. I love Sir X-Man says, I love Xbox, but I don't think we're going to see a Fable or MechAssault. I think it's all been a rumor crap. Sir X-Man, I think that Fable is 100% happening. I'm not sure about MechAssault, though. Double M says, I enjoy good single-player stuff. Also, close to finishing Quantum Break. I do think these two AAA games are the best single-player Xbox has to offer this gen. Look, Quantum Break was good, but here's the thing. It took them 5 years to make Quantum Break, and it's basically about a 4 to 5 hour game, not counting the show cutscenes. And supposedly Control is a 15 to 20 hour game, and it only took them 3 years to make. So you have to wonder why we got shafted as fans, and hopefully we get some good stuff in the future, because I feel like we deserve some good single player stuff, and I feel like it's been forever since we've had any good single player stuff. So hopefully Microsoft kind of listens and pays attention to what the fans are asking for, because if you're not paying attention to your fan base, what the hell's the point? Why not pay attention to us and let us know what's going on a little bit better anyway? Because if it is true, and I'm thinking I would almost say 95% true that we are getting a Fable. If that is true, why not announce it? It's like the worst kept secret in gaming. Horrible secret. Yobi, you're streaming Quantum Break, man. Good, man. It's a solid game. It is a solid game, just not a great / amazing game in my opinion, but completely solid and a lot of fun. Great story. I like the story a lot to that game. They did a really good job with it. I just think that there was a couple things that they should have probably did a little bit different, but still pretty cool to see how it kind of came out or whatever. So I'll answer a few more questions. The issue was Phil, Remedy, Insomniac, and Crytek have all complained about Phil's mingling. So listen, next doc, you're right. Remedy and Insomniac both said they wanted to make sequels to their games, to Quantum Break and Sunset Overdrive, respectively, but Phil Spencer doesn't seem to be interested. That's a bit unfortunate because I think we all would have loved to get a chance to play those sequels. We should. Sunset Overdrive came out in 2014. There's no way that we shouldn't have been playing the sequel by now. Shame on Microsoft for not letting us. I did a poll on the official Xbox forums for people to sign up, like a petition to sign for people to get Microsoft to do a sequel to Sunset Overdrive, and I think I hit like over 10,000 10,000 people signed it. That's a pretty large amount, man. I would have loved to get more, but still pretty incredible. And Microsoft just didn't pay attention. They just will never see a Sunset Overdrive now. Crap, imagine Microsoft trolls everyone and buys Remedy getting the rights to Alan Wake back. Holy crap. What an incredible troll that would have been for Microsoft to actually pull that off. That would have been great. Double M says Quantum Break is good to me, but I'm one of the few people that like The Order. Hey, listen, The Order was a good idea. Like that setting with werewolves and vampires or whatever is great, but really there's not a lot of meat there, meat on the bone. Let me see. Also, crap, you have a game trailer says, crap, you have a problem that Microsoft had a lack of single player games, but you don't have a problem with Sony doesn't make a good multiplayer games and racing games. Well, Sony does do some decent racing games. I mean, Drive Club wasn't great. GT Sports, not terrible. But Gran Turismo as a whole has never been a terrible game, so I'm sure they'll rebound with that. As far as the multiplayer stuff, I think everybody's doing multiplayer stuff, right? Ubisoft, they're doing games as a service. EA, games as a service. Microsoft, games as a service, right? Fallout 76, games as a service. Destiny, games as a service. Division 2, games as a service. All these other companies are doing these multiplayer games that Microsoft's doing. Sony is like the only one doing these single-player games anymore. So that, I think, is a bit of a problem. And that's what I talk about when there's like a bit of an issue there. So I hope that we continue to see some of this stuff. Sir X-Man says, Phil shouldn't have gotten rid of Titanfall either. I would have loved for them to make Titanfall exclusive. Now that game's irrelevant, and they're not even making a third one. Chris Jott, this is one of the best comments I've seen, says it's crazy that with all the money Microsoft have, they're scared of taking risks and investing in new IP or sequels. 100% agreed. Fun Creator says Order 1886 looked amazing, but gameplay was meh. It was a 5-hour long game, sort of like Quantum Break, which was like 4.5, 5 hours. Falling Vector, thank you very much for that. Mario Heat says Sunset Overdrive 2 will be coming exclusively to PS5 when Sony buys Insomniac. You could be right. They could even then put the first Sunset Overdrive game on the PlayStation console at that point. So, we do have that to kind of look at. Very interesting stuff, very interesting topics, kind of tread lightly. Double M says, no progressions just a minute. I kind of felt like Gears is shallow that way too. Yeah, could be. Cake Batter says Gran Turismo is PlayStation's most profitable franchise. That's true. Next Doc says, why do people act like Xbox's multiplayer games are the caliber of Call of Duty, Battlefield, and Overwatch? Just because that's what Microsoft is known for. Like Halo and Gears, those are some really good multiplayer games, but their single player games have taken a hit big time. They're just not very good. And, people have a problem kind of admitting that or whatever. So that's a bit of a problem. Give Me Your Jacket says, what are you talking about? I get more entertainment in third-party single-player games than Sony's. This pat on the back with Sony is way one-sided. Well, they're actually putting out big AAA exclusives, dude. I think that's the problem. Tell Insomniac to make another Ratchet and Clank first, and Sony needs to stop ditching popular indies, I guess. Let's see. Knack 3, The Knackening. Sir Galahad. I don't know if we're going to see that. Master X says Xbox has been releasing mediocre games since 2017. Well, you could make a case that they released mediocre games since 2013 when they launched. I mean, Rise, I liked it, but it was mediocre. They've been releasing mediocre games for a long time this generation. Time to step up, time to announce new stuff, because the stuff that they have now isn't really working. It's not working that well. So, let's see. What do we got here? Going to answer maybe 2 more questions and then get up out of here. I got some stuff to do. Sony's made some really good multiplayer games in the past with Warhawk and SOCOM. I think we're going to see some more SOCOM. I 100% think we're going to see much more SOCOM in the future. So hopefully we do see more and more SOCOM coming out, because I think people really want to see that like be a comeback. You know, people love a comeback. Oh crap! I'm not a big fan of him, but he is extremely popular in the entertainment industry. Why can't Microsoft team with Drake and make an 0v0 custom console? Many casual, maybe they don't make custom consoles at all. They don't have to, you know, they don't make any custom consoles. Game Trailer says, crap, if Microsoft makes single player games like Sony, what is the point owning an Xbox? I don't want an Xbox and PlayStation have similar games. It's like N64 shooters and PS1 RPGs. Listen, I don't want Microsoft to make all single player games. I want Microsoft to make an RPG, a new action adventure game. Keep making your Gears, Forzas, and Halos and State of Decays or whatever, but make some new stuff as well. That's what people are talking about. That's what people want. They want more. They want more new IP, some new announcements. Mario Heat says, crap, are you looking forward to next E3? I am, because I think Sony's going to be back, and I think it's going to be a hell of a show. And we're going to have Sony versus Microsoft, and we're going to see who's going to end up on the winning end of that. Hit the like button, guys and girls. I'd appreciate it. I'm going to answer one more question and get the heck out of here. Been a hell of a show. Buck Rogers says Warhawk was great back in the day. Haze. I remember Haze. The game was terrible. Let's see, what else do we got? Anything interesting? One more question. One more. We need balance. I agree 100%. We need balance. We need a good group there. Master X says, my point was Sony started releasing exclusives in 2017, 4 years in the generation. Xbox had a crappy 2017 in terms of exclusive. 2018, I guess, this year too. Well, Sony had released some stuff like Uncharted in 2016, and they had some other games Until Dawn and stuff. So I think it really just comes down to Microsoft needs to make their games relevant and make them so that they have games that are a little bit of that appeal to a wider audience, in my opinion. So with that being said, I really appreciate you guys and girls for checking out my video. I think Xbox can do better. They will do better. They have to listen at some point. Please like this video, share it out. I appreciate you guys. Have a fantastic Sunday, and we'll catch you guys later. Rack 'em up. Peace out, y'all.